Hi guys, welcome back to day 2 of lesson 11.3. It's a kind of practice review day for you guys. I'm going to have you work on pages 18 and 19 in the packet. My answer key will be posted so you can check as you go. So this one does not need to be submitted to me. I will pick and choose a few problems just to kind of give you some tips, and I'll try to pick like the harder ones, but I do suggest that you do them all on your own and then compare it to my answer key. Of course, if you have any trouble, send me an email. Make sure you do go to the online textbook though, because there is a book assignment to do as well. Okay, so first we're going to get started talking about our regular polygon or triangle. So if it is a regular polygon, a regular triangle, there are certain things that aren't going to change, and those are the angle measures. Regular means that all three sides are congruent and all three angles are congruent. Since there are three angles, 180 divided by 3 means that each of the angles is 60 degrees. Okay, that will not change. All right, and then if we draw in the apothem, which goes straight down to one of the sides, it's perpendicular and it bisects the side. All right, and then if I draw my radius is going to end up bisecting this angle down here. So when I draw my radius in, I have a 30-degree angle. So hopefully now you notice that you have a 30, a 90, which means this one has to be 60. You have a special right triangle. So the information that we learned earlier in the year about 30, 60, 90 right triangles is going to come up in this lesson as well. So quickly off to the side, I'll just remind you, your hypotenuse is equal to 2 times your short leg, and your long leg is equal to root 3 times your short leg. Okay? All right, so the table that's given on page 18, we're given that the radius is 10, we're given that the apothem is 6 for problem 2, then I'm given the side is 8 for problem 3, then the perimeter is 15, and 12 root 3. Okay, so I'm going to work on 3 and 4 because they are definitely the more challenging problems. For problem 3, you're given the side lengths are all 8. So 8, 8, 8 is being bisected, so 4 and 4. If I'm given the long leg is 4, I would plug that in there to solve for the short leg. So if the long leg is 4, then to solve for the short leg, I have to divide both sides by root 3. So when I divide by root 3, I'm going to have my short leg is equal to 4 over root 3. And then I have to rationalize by multiplying top and bottom by root 3. So my short leg is equal to 4 root 3 over 3. So that goes here. 4 root 3 over 3. And then your hypotenuse is 2 times the short leg. So your hypotenuse is going to equal 2 times the short leg, which is that 4 root 3 over 3. So that's going to give you 8 root 3 over 3. So that information's not going, or excuse me, I have enough information to fill in the table now. My radius is 8 root 3 over 3. My apothem is 4 root 3 over 3. My perimeter, while all three sides are 8, 8 times 3 is 24. And to get the area, you use this formula here, 1/2 apothem times perimeter that we talked about yesterday in our notes. 1/2 apothem times perimeter. So 1/2, 4 root 3 over 3 times the perimeter, which is 24. I'm going to take half of 24 just because the math is easier. Half of 24 is 12. So now I have 12 times 4 root 3 over 3. I'm going to cross simplify. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So 4 times 4 root 3 is 16 root 3. Okay. Now when I move on to problem 4, I'm going to erase everything except for the angle measures, because the sides, the apothem, the radius, those are going to change. But again, what's not going to change are the angle measures. They will stay the same for all the problems related to our regular triangle. Okay, so for problem 4, I'm given the perimeter is 15. If the perimeter is 15 and there are 3 sides that add up to give you 15, that means the side lengths are all 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Now, if this entire side is 5, that means that I have 2.5 or 5 over 2 for the pieces here, because 5 divided by 2 is 5 halves. Okay? Then from there, my long leg is 5 over 2. So to get my short leg, I have to divide by root 3. The math is the same, but it's a little more challenging, so I'll write this one out as well. My long leg is 5 over 2, and I'm trying to solve for my short leg. So I have to divide both sides by root 3. Now this is where it gets a little ugly. This is a complex fraction, a fraction within a fraction. But let's write it out. 5 over 2 divided by root 3. Just a different way of looking at it. And hopefully you guys remember from like elementary school that you can change multiplication into division and flip the second fraction, multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 1 over root 3. That's going to be my short leg. So far what I have, multiply numerators and denominators, I have 5 over 2 root 3 equals my short leg. But we all know we can't leave a radical in the bottom of the fraction, so I have to rationalize. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by root 3. So I'm going to have 5 root 3 over, when I multiply the bottom by root 3 times root 3 is 9. Root 9 is 3, so it's 3 times 2 to get 6. That is my short leg. Okay, so I have 5 root 3 over 6. I have to double that to get my hypotenuse, so I'll write it out. The hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short leg. So your hypotenuse is equal to 2 times 5 root 3 over 6. I'm going to cross simplify to get 5 root 3 over 3. All right, so I have enough information to fill out the table now. My radius is 5 root 3 over 3. My apothem is 5 root 3 over 6. My side lengths are each 5. And then the area, I still have to do the math to get the area. So the area is equal to 1/2 the apothem, which is 5 root 3 over 6, times the perimeter, which is 15. Okay. You can multiply the fractions first if you want. Multiply numerators and denominators. So 5 root 3 over 12 times 15. Then I am going to cross simplify before I multiply. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So it's 5 root 3 times 5. That's 25 root 3. Over 4 times 1 is 4. So it's 25 root 3 over 4. Okay. Again, I picked the harder 2 problems to do from that section, so the other one should be a little bit easier for you to handle. Let's move on, though, to our next table, which deals with our square. All right, so let me see if I can save time and not have to redo the entire chart. All right. Okay, so for our square, which is a regular quadrilateral, all 4 sides are congruent, all 4 angles are congruent, which means all the angles are right angles. My apothem bisects this side and is perpendicular. My radius bisects this angle. If it was a 90-degree angle, that means it's 45. That means I have a special 45, 45, 90 right triangle. So for 45, 45, 90, remember your leg is, oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to write. Your hypotenuse is equal to root 2 times the leg. Okay, your legs are equal. Okay, so this is the information that's unchanging in your chart. We have problem 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to look at problems 8 and 9. So for problem 8, you're given the hypotenuse 7. And for problem 9, you're given the side length is 8. You'll notice in this chart, they don't have a spot for the perimeter. You can add a column for the perimeter, or we'll talk about the other way of finding the area instead of using 1/2 AP. Okay? Oh, this goes here, sorry. 8 goes up there. Okay. So, for number 8, the hypotenuse 7. Well, since it's a 45, 45, 90, this is isosceles, which means this piece is 7 as well. If this piece is 7, this piece is 7, the whole side is 14. All of the sides are 14 then. Okay? If your two legs are 7, that makes your hypotenuse 7 root 2. That's all you need to start filling out the table. Your radius is 7 root 2. Your hypotenuse 7. Your side lengths are all 14. Your perimeter, okay, so we can do that. Your perimeter is 4 times 14. All right, that's going to be 16, 4, 56. So your perimeter is equal to 56. Again, this part is not listed in your table. You can add it if you want. You don't have to. And the reason you don't have to is because you can find the area by doing base times height. 14 times 14. Okay, to get 196. Or you can use 1/2 AP. 1/2 the hypotenuse 7, times the perimeter, which is 56. Okay, you could double check my math, but 1/2 times 7 times 56 is also 196. So you have two different ways of figuring out the area. You don't have to use the perimeter, which is why it's not listed in that table. All right, for problem number 9, so I'm going to erase all the lengths, but the angles do not change. So that stays the same for all of the problems. For problem number 9, you're given that the side lengths are all 8. So I have 8, 8, 8. This whole thing is 8, so 4 and 4. The two legs have to be congruent because it's a 45, 45, 90. The hypotenuse is root 2 times the leg, so it's 4 root 2. Okay, so I can start filling in the table. The radius is 4 root 2. The hypotenuse 4. The perimeter, 8 times 4 is 32. And the area, you can just do 8 times 8 to get 64, or 1/2 the hypotenuse times the perimeter. 1/2 of 4 is 2. 2 times 32 will also get you your 64. Okay. All right, guys, we are going to move on to our last shape, which is our hexagon. So let me get that set up. Okay, so for a hexagon, it's a regular hexagon. All the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent. Now you can figure out the measurement of each angle by using n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, which was from an earlier chapter, and you'll get 120. Now when you draw in your hypotenuse and your radius, the hypotenuse is perpendicular to the side and bisects the side. Your radius bisects the angle. So if this was 120, I now have 60. So I have a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. All right. So same thing as before, your hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short leg, and your long leg is equal to root 3 times your short leg. But be careful, in your triangle, the 30 was down there and the 60 was up there. So just make note of that, okay? This is my short leg, this is my long leg, that's my hypotenuse. All right, so that's the unchanging information. I'm going to do 12 and 13. So for number 12, this is 10, 11, 12, 13. For number 12, I'm given a side length of 6. So 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. That gives me 3 and 3. If my short leg is 3, my long leg is 3 root 3, and my hypotenuse is double the short leg, so that's 6. That's all I need for the rest of the problem. Radius is 6. Apothem is 3 root 3. Perimeter, 6 times the 6 sides is 36. And the area, 1/2 apothem times perimeter. Okay, so 1/2 times apothem times perimeter is going to give you 54 root 3. Okay, and for number 13, I'm given 18 root 3 for the perimeter. So let me erase what I don't need. All right, so if you're given 18 root 3 for the perimeter, then to figure out the side, right, there are 6 sides, you're going to take the perimeter, 18 root 3, and you're going to divide by the 6 sides, okay? 18 divided by 6 is going to be 3, so you have 3 root 3 for each side. So this side is 3 root 3, this side is 3 root 3, all around, okay, 3 root 3. All right, so if this side is 3 root 3, if you divide it in half, you have 3 root 3 divided by 2, 3 root 3 divided by 2 for each of those pieces. Okay, and the reason that's important is because that is your short leg. You double that to get the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is equal to 2 times 3 root 3 over 2. When you multiply, cross simplify, you're just left with 3 root 3 for the hypotenuse. To get the long leg, you take the short leg and multiply by root 3. So long leg is equal to root 3 times 3 root 3 over 2. The root 3's multiply, so that's going to be 3 root 9 over 2. Root 9 is 3, so that's just going to be 9 over 2. Okay, that's this piece here. And I think that's all I need to figure out the rest of my table. So the radius is 3 root 3. Your apothem is 9 over 2. What else do I need? My side is 3 root 3. And your area. So the area is equal to 1/2 the apothem. The apothem is 9 over 2. Times the perimeter, which is 18 root 3. Okay, you might want to take half of 18 first just because it goes in evenly. So half of 18 root 3 is 9 root 3. I still have to multiply that by 9 over 2. Multiply your numerators and your denominators, so you get 81 root 3 over 2. So 81 root 3 over 2. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave the rest of the worksheet for you guys to work on your own. Check your answers as you go. Give me an email. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or need any help. And then jump onto the online textbook for your homework. See ya.